What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video and welcome to a late night recap. The Dallas Cowboys defeat the Arizona Cardinals 28-17. I just needed the Cardinals to get one more touchdown, and that I would have predicted the score for this game. I predicted 28-24, a total of 52 points, and the Cardinals come up short. And the Dallas Cowboys do score 28 points, but the Cardinals only score 17 as opposed to the 24 I was guessing they would score. But this is actually, I hate the Cowboys, but this was actually a pretty good game to watch. I liked watching it from beginning to end. There were some stupid decisions by Bruce Arians that really screwed up their chances of winning this game. But you got to give it to the Cowboys. The defense stepped up. At times, the offense was doing fine. The offense was struggling in the beginning, but they wound up. It kind of flip-flopped. The offense was very good for the Cardinals in the beginning. It wasn't so good. It wasn't so hot for the Dallas Cowboys, and then it totally flip-flopped. And then the Arizona Cardinals couldn't complete a pass unless it was Larry Fitzgerald. And then you got Dak Prescott handing it off to Ezekiel Elliott continuously moving the chains. Dak Prescott making plays outside the pocket, whether it's picking up yards with his feet or throwing down the field, and that's something he's pretty good at, is throwing out on the run and outside the pocket to find any receiver like Bryce Butler and Noah Brown. These random receivers. But this was a good game to watch. We start off with Arizona scoring their first touchdown. I believe after they scored their first touchdown, Carson Palmer was like 10 of 10 for like 111 yards or something. He was absolutely killing it. Their run game wasn't working out so well, so they had to pass the ball. And Larry Fitzgerald had the touchdown, the first touchdown, and he had let me see how much yards he had. He had 13 receptions for 149 yards. Slow Larry Fitzgerald getting those yards, still dominating defenses. And like I said, Arizona's defense, offense, I'm all over the place. The offense was really rolling, and not so much for the Dallas Cowboys, and it was a flip-flop. And then let's fast forward all the way to the end of the game, because other than that, you got Dak Prescott's leaping, diving, rushing touchdown, which was pretty impressive to see. I think that was the first touchdown, so it was 7-7 there. The Phil Dawson missed a really easy, chip shot field goal nowadays, a 36-yard field goal. Could have had them up 10-0 at the time. That didn't work out. Could have helped them out in this game. But let's fast forward all the way to the end of the game, where it's already 28-17. As a matter of fact, 21-17. The Cardinals could get the ball back, score it, get another field goal, or get another touchdown. Any kind of score really is going to help their chances of winning the game. And they totally mess up. Dak Prescott finds Bryce Butler all the way down the field, and probably the second best defensive back on the Arizona Cardinals in Tyrann Mathieu completely messes up, gets mossed by Bryce Butler. He didn't know where the football was. The awareness was very low. Didn't know where the football was. It's caught by Bryce Butler. Luckily, Tyrann Mathieu, I don't know why he was not rushing to touch Bryce Butler, make sure he's down before his knee gets up off the ground, but he does just barely by a hair gets Bryce Butler down, but it didn't matter because Ezekiel Elliott ran down the field for a touchdown, and a pretty easy touchdown. The guy was untouched when on that play. So it's 28-17. The situation just got a whole lot harder for the Arizona Cardinals to possibly win this game. So fast forward a little bit, a couple plays to Larry Fitzgerald, who was absolutely money this game. A couple plays to Larry Fitzgerald balling out on some rookies. They move down the field. Eventually, they're first and goal, and they should have kicked the field goal from the start, where there was a pass interference call, or was it a holding call? I forgot what it was. A pass interference call down the field on Chad Williams, their rookie wide receiver, and they moved down the field all the way down and it's like immediately they're in field goal range, like about the 30 or so yard line. They could have kicked the field goal right there and then worried about getting the onside kick and then trying to score from there. Like John Gruden was saying, to do that, that was probably the more smarter situation to take, but they don't. And eventually they do get down the field to try to score. But, I mean, the pressure from the Dallas D-line was really getting to the offensive line of Arizona. Arizona's offensive line really struggled this game. We're talking about from both tackle positions. DJ Humphries, their starting left tackle, was out for this game. It probably didn't make much of a difference because DJ Humphries isn't that good, but it definitely showed that the offensive line needs help for the Arizona Cardinals. Demarcus Lawrence, and I'm telling you guys right now, Dallas Cowboys fans watching this, Demarcus Lawrence played absolutely great. He's having a stellar season. If my math is correct, he had 2 sacks against Denver, had 2 sacks against the Giants, had 3 sacks tonight. That is a total of 9 sacks. Oh, no, 9 sacks already. 7 sacks already. Sorry, my math is terrible, guys, just to let you know. But that's a total of 7 sacks already. I hope that's right. I think he had 2 against the Giants, 2 against Denver, and 3 tonight. So that's 7 sacks already, and he's absolutely balling out. The Arizona Cardinals could not find a way to stop him. Demarcus Lawrence was just gasping for air, and he was still getting pressure on Carson Palmer. So, and I think I said Carson Wentz a couple times, but forgive me on that. I meant Carson Palmer, if I did say Carson Wentz. But yeah, down the field, you know, Demarcus Lawrence is absolutely killing it on the line, and he's pressured so many times. Carson Palmer's pressured so many times that he just has to throw it. And it almost got intercepted at least 2 times in the red zone during, you know, those final plays of the game, and time is winding down. And then on 3rd down, they hit Larry Fitzgerald short of the goal line, probably to like the 2 or 3 yard line, and Larry Fitzgerald is tackled before before he gets out of bounds, and they have to hurry up. They have to go ahead and try this 4th down play. On 4th down, immediately I would have got my field goal unit on if any chance possible. Got my field goal unit on. Matter of fact, on 3rd down, it probably would have been harder on 4th down because the clock was ticking. But, you know, got my field goal unit on, whether it was on 3rd or 4th down, and just kick the field goal, and hopefully I get the onside kick. You know, it was hard to score. You couldn't have thought that, you know, Carson Palmer was going to score on like the billionth time, you know, trying to throw into the end zone. And what really screwed up Bruce Arians too is that he lost a timeout. J.J. Nelson, earlier on in the game, in the second half, J.J. Nelson, 44-yard bomb, almost caught it. It looked very impressive, but he kept 2 feet in bounds, but did not hold on to the ball. I mean, he didn't hold on to it whatsoever. I'm talking about from all the way from where he caught it all the way down to the ground. It was just bobbled the whole way, and it hit the ground a bunch of times, ricocheted off the ground, and, you know, I don't know why. I mean, Bruce Arians himself didn't see the play. It's the guys upstairs that, you know, talking in his ear to go ahead and challenge that play. So those people should not be calling those to Bruce Arians, because it made him look very, very stupid, and it was pretty embarrassing that he challenged that play, because everybody and their mom knew that that was an incomplete pass. So let's get on to the stats real quick. Dak Prescott had himself an efficient day, not game-breaking or anything, but had himself a very efficient day. 13 completions out of 18, 183 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks. And as you can see, I got my computer back, so I'm going to download my software again, and then you guys are going to be getting videos again, and my gaming channel will be back up. He got sacked 1 time for a loss of 9 yards. And then we move on to Carson Palmer, who was forced to throw the ball because his running game was not going. As you know, David Johnson is out for probably the next 1 or 2 months from now. Carson Palmer, 29 of 48. He wasn't doing that bad early on in the game, but once that running game wasn't getting anything going and time was of the essence, he had to throw it. And even under pressure, he had to just throw it out and get it out the way. So he was 29 of 48, 325 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. He could have very well had like 4 interceptions in this game, but he was saved because these Dallas Cowboys cannot catch the ball. Jeff Heath could have got one. Jordan Lewis could have got one. Demarcus Lawrence could have got one. I mean, he could have had 4 interceptions. And then he was sacked a total of 6 times. 3 of them from yours truly, Demarcus Lawrence. Complete monster on that defensive line for Dallas. The Dallas rushing attack, Ezekiel Elliott, 22 carries for 80 yards and 3.6 yards per carry and a touchdown. Didn't have much of a great game. He was stopped a lot. At one point, he was like 3 rushes for -3 yards, so he didn't have the best day he's had, but he's getting back on track, and I think teams are starting to figure him out a little bit. He is just a one-cut back. He doesn't really make plays as far as finding a hole and stuff like that. His vision is very good, but once he hits the hole, he's gone. He knows how to do that, but once teams figure him out, I think he's easier to stop. Denver definitely showed the blueprints for that. And he was the only running back to run the ball. Dak Prescott ran 3 times for 16 yards, and Ryan Switzer 1 time for 3 yards. Andre Ellington was the lead back for the Arizona Cardinals. He had 5 carries for 22 yards. He didn't do much. 4.4 yards per carry. Yes, it's great, but he only had 22 yards, so not much of a difference. Chris Johnson, 12 carries for 17 yards. MJD said that he was going to have a monster game. Anyway, Carson Palmer didn't do anything. 3 carries, 7 yards. That was just scramble plays because he was constantly pressured. And Kerwin Williams had himself a 1 carry for 3 yards. I almost picked him up on fantasy because everybody in fantasy football on NFL Network was saying to pick him up because David Johnson was injured. But good thing I'm a smart guy. Anyway, moving on. Dallas receiving game, and surprisingly, the Dallas receiving game was actually looking very impressive. Bryce Butler, you got Terrence Williams, who was the main guys. Des Bryant was virtually silent this game. That 15-yard touchdown, guys, this is not coming from a Giants fan. This is just coming from an NFL fan. That was not a touchdown. I mean, and it kind of has me a little upset because Sterling Shepard, that was very well the same exact kind of play. He caught the ball right before the end zone, and it was called an incomplete pass for Sterling Shepard. Even under review, it was called an incomplete pass, and that's what it was. And then Des Bryant was called for a touchdown. It doesn't make sense. Des Bryant was clearly did not break the plane. Even Donahue or whatever the commentator's name is, he said that he definitely didn't cross the plane. John Gruden thought he crossed the plane. He was like, Des Bryant, give that man a touchdown, and praising him for his great work. It was a great move. I mean, those 15 yards were very hard to get. He powered his way through there, but definitely that should have been on the half-yard line. That was not a touchdown, and it should have been 1st and goal from there. I mean, odds are Ezekiel Elliott was probably going to punch it in anyway, but still, fair is fair. If Sterling Shepard's play was not a touchdown, then that play was not a touchdown. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, go back in the Giants highlights last week against the Philadelphia Eagles, this week against the Philadelphia Eagles, where Sterling Shepard tried to catch a ball on the out route to the right end zone, the right side of the end zone, and he caught it, but it was short, just barely short of the end zone, and I thought it was short of the end zone. It was a fair call. But if that wasn't a touchdown, then that Des Bryant touchdown wasn't a touchdown. So, so Bryce Butler led the way, 2 receptions, 90 yards, and a touchdown. Terrence Williams, 3 receptions, 47 yards, and he was always there when Dak Prescott needed him. All of those receptions were pressured and scramble plays. So good job by Terrence Williams getting open there. Noah Brown made a reception for 13 yards, and then Des Bryant, 2 receptions for 12 yards. Does that sound familiar, Giants fans? 2 receptions for 12 yards. That sounds like last season against the Giants. But anyway, Larry Fitzgerald on the Arizona Cardinals side, 13 receptions, 149 yards, and a touchdown. This guy was complete money on 15 targets. So, I mean, great job by Larry Fitzgerald. Andre Ellington, 5 receptions, 59 yards. Definitely one of the better scat backs in the league. Jermaine Gresham, 5 receptions, 47 yards. Jerron Brown, 2 receptions for 27 yards. Could have had a lot more yards, but dropped some balls. Didn't keep his feet in bounds for some balls. Dropped a touchdown. He caught a ball, but couldn't keep his feet in bounds. That could have very well helped them win the game. Moving on. Nothing really much of importance. No player to highlight there from the receiving game. We move on. There was no turnovers in this game. A very clean, very efficient game from both sides of the offenses, and so no turnovers for the defense. As you know, Dak Prescott was very efficient for the ball, only throwing it 18 times and completing 13 of his passes. And Carson Palmer, like I said, he could have had like 4 interceptions this game, but in the stat sheets, it's a clean game. Tyvon Branch, the secondary did struggle late in this in this game, but Tyvon Branch had himself a day. He had 12 total tackles. He had himself a very good day. Tyrann Mathieu got mossed there by Price Butler. That was pretty bad. Sean Lee had led the team for Dallas, 8 tackles and 1 tackle for loss. And then moving on to sacks. If I can get to the sacks. Where are the sacks? Hold on, guys. All right. Oh, there it is. Sorry. Malik Collins got 2 sacks. So the 3rd-round pick from last year, Dallas. Malik Collins got 2 sacks. Tyrone Crawford had himself a sack, and it was kind of a sack. Carson Palmer was scrambling out the pocket, and he was attempting to run with the ball, but I think that was... No, never mind. He threw that ball out. Never mind. Excuse what I'm saying. And then we all know the 3 sacks from Demarcus Lawrence, the beast in Demarcus Lawrence. And then Chandler Jones got a sack on Dak Prescott earlier in the game. So there's that. And, pretty much it was a good game to watch. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I was pretty entertained by this game. I was just hoping that Arizona won this game, but if they didn't win this game, I was hoping they at least scored 24 points so I can get my prediction right. But it is what it is. I finished off 8-8 this season. I've never finished with a negative record, so it was kind of a blessing that the Dallas Cowboys won, because I would have had a negative record this week for predicting scores. So there's some kind of positivity. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Predictions come out tomorrow, and I'll see you guys in the next video.